Hello, let's talk today about how to connect to your spiritual gifts for free without going and making a hole in your pocket to this white washed spiritual retreats where you spend a fucking fortune. Let me not talk about capitalism in the spiritual industry, it's fucking crazy. So, here, let's go. Um, I'm just gonna help you. Um, you're welcome. So, first step, what you also hear as experiences in an ayahuasca and all of this kind of stuff. The first step is to connect to your guardian angel. Now, we coming from different backgrounds, we all have different. I'm a bit sick, so I can't hear myself well. I hear myself too well. We all have an understanding of what a guardian angel is. Like in Christianity, we say that it's like at birth, everybody is gifted like an angel to take care of us. In Islam, I think they have something similar. And then in spirituality, we call it the higher self, which is actually, it's your source. It's the core of your source. That's what is protecting you and guiding you, because they know the ending, so that's why they know the info. And then psychologically speaking, you're connecting to your body, period, psychologically speaking, because also this source is gonna tell you what food you can digest the best, what activity you need when you're sad, like what's your next, like it's a holistic voice, holistic guidance. Okay. So how do you connect? Well, first I have on Patreon. You can go on my Instagram, and I also leave I'm gonna leave the link in the description. But I have on Patreon a guided meditation to connect to your guardian angel. Next, connect to your roots. So a lot of times, especially people who are coming from a religious background, we tend to deny completely because it's traumatic, like life in general is traumatic. So we tend to deny everything because first we feel the pain, right? So when you go through the pain, blah 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 blah, you are allowed to have hate, by the way. The final result of you healed would be like you can hate and love at the same time. Like you will understand that your feelings don't matter on anybody's life. Your feelings matter for you. That's it. So you can allow yourself to hate and love and whatever, So how do you connect to your roots? First of all, learn your history. And when I say history, I really mean history and social trends, the social context of your ancestors, the social context in which your ancestors grew in, to understand their lives. And of course we carry some of the burden, right, of their like mistakes, whatever, but you're not better than them, bitch. So you have to go back and learn and understand why they did those choices. If you're a bitch like me, you have to go back and understand why they did some choices. You don't have to forgive anything, because you're also doing mistakes, maybe right now. So it's so bad to assume that we are better than our ancestors. Okay. So um, I am not victim shaming or blaming or anything, but it's a bit, if you're 15, it's okay to blame it everything on your parents, but when you're like growing up and when you learn about therapy, I think it's time to learn about responsibility too. Okay. So respect your heritage. Respect your heritage. Start eating your ancestors' food. If you find errors in their behavior, just correct them. Correct them with your new approach and perspective, but don't change them, just correct. I'll give you just a simple example about the food. So I became vegan when I moved here in Denmark. And I automatically denied, my ancestors' food and culture. And I was like, oh my God, it's so bad to eat animals. But my ancestors were poor in Soviet Union. They starved us. Like, of course, you were forced to eat animals because and because you were starving and it stays more in your body and all of this. You have to survive. Eating animals is a survival thing. And you have to learn this context about your ancestors. So I do vegan food, but I still do like make our traditional things like cabbage rolls, mamaliga, like all of this, like just play with it. Okay. So learn your history and learn about your family heritage and their problems. So it's a bit less of a hit when you know, for example, that okay, in my family we deal with I don't know, alcoholism. We're from Moldova. So you're a bit like you have your expectations up, then you have to learn why that person fell into alcoholism or into that problem. If I would be you, I would, if I like that person, I would identify with that person and just connect to them in order to heal, understand, and get rid of that shame or embarrassment in my own family. First of all, by accepting it, and then you just get some gifts out of it. And I'm not here to share all too much about myself, but every burden has a gift at the end. So if you're not allowed, okay, so you would tell me like, okay, but like we are, there are people who and spiritual guides and all of these who are like, yeah, let me unlock your gifts, blah blah blah, and they behave totally different. Listen, if you changed your persona, your essence, your behavior completely after a healing journey of whatever, you are not healed, brother and sister and non-binary fellow. Like, healing doesn't mean to change your fucking persona. That's oppression, okay? I lost my thought. So what do? You're like, okay, but I still feel good. Yeah, because you are going into a different system. You are stepping into a different system, religious system, spiritual system, where you outsource your energy and gifts. As soon as you step out and you don't feel that connection anymore, you are not fucking connected anymore. Do you understand what I mean? connecting to your own heritage is connecting to your own identity and your own source of energy. Like, don't forget that fucking devil is in details, and Jesus told us to be aware of scammers and all of this. Like, if a spiritual teacher sells you something and says only this will help you, then that's scam, okay? Because everybody has their own power too. We are meant maybe to help each other, to guide, but you have your own fucking power, okay? I'm pissed. Yeah, follow spiritual practices. I'm coming from a Christian, Orthodox Christian religious household. So that was traumatic, but I still pray to my saints. I mean, to my saints, yeah, to our saints. I have priests that I really like, they're like really good people and gifted. Um, like, I do spiritual practices. I do them, but in with my own lens and approach. And you'll discover your own lens and approach. That's just practicing. You get an idea. It's like business. Get an idea, do it. Doesn't work, move. Get an idea, do it. Doesn't work, move. If it works, keep it, or do it again to see if it's really, it's a research. It's a research case. You have a theory. You apply some practices. You draw conclusion. Next theory, it's a research, okay? I'm a scientist. Yeah, I need the food and do the spiritual practices with your own lens. Nobody's telling you to like pray 5 times a day if you don't want to, but you should pray or connect somehow spiritually. If you don't pray, maybe you call it meditation, right? Maybe you call it a mental health practice. Maybe you call it EFT therapy. It's your life. And last but not least, you have to pray their prayers. And when I say their prayers is what I actually, it's just like a sum up. You have to accept their battles. I have it here. You have to accept your ancestors' battles, your mother's battles, your father's battles, even if you don't like them, but like, that's it. You are not here to forgive anybody. You are here to accept your life and learn and move the fuck on. If people who hurt you are open to solve it, okay. If not, whatever. But you have to accept those battles. They are yours. They're not going anywhere. I'm sorry. And you have to extend your own source. So you take the battle, like, I don't know. You integrate, you apply your own thing, and then you extend it. What I mean by extended, let's say your family deals with homophobia, right? And you are born queer, and you accept that battle. And when you accept, you integrate, maybe you change the mind of a person, but now your family heritage is more open, is extended, has an extended energy source from a queer energy, right? I call it energy, but you get me. So you have to make sense of that problem and why that problem wasn't solved in the context of your ancestors and their own life and political situation and social situation. You'll understand, you'll make sense of it. You don't have to accept it. You have to accept your life, but you don't have to accept their ways of doing it. But it's true. You don't have to do their way. You can do your own way, but you have to accept that this belongs to you. I am sorry. Just how you were born with like crooked nose or crooked legs, just accept it. And yeah, at the end you'll have more and more like intuitive thoughts of intuitive practices, and you'll notice. And don't forget, this is a muscle like anything else. Don't forget, you have to put a bit of effort, not all the effort. um, the healing journey is meant to stretch you, not fucking put you in a doctor's bed, okay? So be radical acceptant to yourself and to your family, and just, yeah. And at the end, you will notice that you kind of extend over hurts. You kind of, you'll find it funny, you'll find it, you'll be more free in how you want to feel about certain things, and you will have your autonomy here, and you'll have your source here. You'll not need to follow 10 million rules that some healer tells you, or to connect to your source. Like, your source is literally like, why you're selling my own source? Do you understand how bad this is? It's like, so yeah, if you want to discover it by yourself and not get scammed by spiritual teachers, do this. Do what I tell you. Yeah. Have a good day.